Peace to the people. You already. This right here, I'm about to speak about. I'm about to speak about transition. Right now, in my opinion, a lot of the street families and organizations going through a period of transition as a whole on all sides. Now, what we're transitioning into will be held accountable by the leadership that's being picked and used. You know what I'm saying? Chosen. You know what I mean? Those who are being chosen to lead in this era, you have to lead with the understanding of being in the middle of a transition. If you're not viewing a transition going on in the streets and not guiding and leading in that direction, in the direction of a transition, then you might be just reiterating the past, which is not going to work for the present or the future, and they're about to get indicted. The transition is like this, in my opinion. I speak for my neighborhood, or I speak for my section first, right? The concept of the cleanup, right? Cleaning everything up. Anything that ain't official, we cleaning you up. We did that, and they locked everybody up. We doing that. Ain't did that. That don't never change, because you always got to clean up. But the ways of the cleanup of the 80s and 90s. No, pardon my soul. The 80s was wild, but the cleanup concept of the 90s, the early 2000s, won't work in these 2000s based off of the fact that for some reason during the cleanup era, while they was locking everybody up, we were being outbreeded. They was outbreeding those who would clean up, those who would stand up, those who wouldn't fold, those who would live by the code. They was locking them up left and right. To whereas those in opposition of that ideology were being bred by the thousands. They freed those who had morals and principles and lived by a certain code into a world where they're outnumbered. But within the belief system of what we stand for is always being opposition of oppression. And in order to show and prove that you're always going to be opposition of oppressive situations in life, mental, spiritually, and physically, you have to stand up and show that by being in a physically oppressive situation. And you have to show these brothers and sisters that you're willing to stand regardless of anything during the process that's called initiation. So you show that and you do that. So with that being said, no matter what, you got to stand. That's the concept, that's the mentality, that's the ideology. So on the strength that you're in a world, in a cesspool of people who don't go by your, ideology, you still have to stand firm no matter what. So what do you do in that process of standing firm in a world that is not the world that you grew up in or the world that you're used to? Well, you have to transition. Now pause. When I say transition, I'm not talking about turn into a sucker. You have to transition the mentality of the real to take back over, though you're overpopulated, take back over the head of the ideology of the times. If you understand what I'm saying. If you don't, hit me up. I'll probably explain it. Because right now, when you get overpopulated, somebody else is telling all the stories. There's somebody else out there doing all of the, they doing propaganda, putting everything out there, which is getting the masses to follow their ideology, which their ideology doesn't come with any honor. Their ideology doesn't have any principles, no morals. It has nothing really of solid foundation that's good for a people, period. So the transition that we're going through right now, we're going in from clean up, pop off, get them, hit them, spit them. We're transitioning into builders. It's not easy because when you're warriors and you know the battlefield, after the wars are really over, because there's really not no real wars like it was back then. Motherfuckers going to war, man. There's beef. Don't get that fucked up. And there's certain places that the battlefield is still prevalent. But where I'm from, I would say there's beef, but not wars. I only can speak for my neighborhood. I can't act like I'm from somewhere I'm not. So with that being said, on the strength that there is no wars, what is there for a warrior to do but build? You're physically inclined to be in the field. Now you have to re-educate your mind. Just like you educated your mind to survive the jungle, you have to re-educate your mind, not just to survive the jungle anymore. You still got to survive it, but to rebuild, to build. Because you're going to war for nothing. You're going to war for nothing to have nothing. Because after you win the war, you have no place to live, sleep, eat, shit. You still got to depend on another motherfucker. So you fought, went to war, you shot, then went to jail, flipped bricks, did all that extra shit for nothing because you have nothing. You have to get something. In order to get it, you still got to put in work. You cannot be an East Coast homie and think putting in work ever ends. It never stops. You got to put in work for the rest of your motherfucking life, no matter what, especially if you are a man of hue in America. If you're a man of hue in America, work is all you ever going to do. Slavery ain't never stop. You got to put in work no matter what. For the rest of your life. It don't never stop. There ain't no vacation. There ain't no Miami. There ain't no Miami. Miami's the facade. Not saying the hood is a facade. I'm talking about Miami as retirement and relax. Ain't no relaxation for you. Ain't no stopping for you. You're always gonna have to put in work, somewhere, one way or another. Right now, the work that gotta be put in is you gotta re-educate ourselves, get our mental right, and we gotta build. We need builders. We need property. We need builders. You are not official homie if you're not building. You damn sure ain't official shine homie if you ain't networking. What the fuck are you doing? What are you here for? All right, save you for some more war. Just in case somebody get in the way of the building, we still need the warriors. So everybody can't be a builder, but we need more builders than we need killers. That's the transition. And depending on how this transition go, we will have a whole bunch of builders and businessmen and everything that's needed added with the warrior mentality because muscle memory don't never go away. Or we'll keep reproducing what we have and review where we end up going to go. But right now, that's the transition. I feel, in my opinion, that's the transition. Because I view a lot of brothers becoming good fathers, man. They come out of jails and they snatching their kids up. There's a lot of that going on. There's a lot of brothers around their kids right now. That's a builder. Because that's how you get educated to build. When you become a father, you start participating in fatherhood, you naturally become a builder because you have to think, strategize, and not be all the time physical when dealing with children, especially your children. You have to make sure you have, and everybody has. That's a builder because it takes the mental with the physical. You know what I'm saying? It takes a lot. But to be trained for that, you have to be in an oppressive situation and pass that initiation, pass that jumping because you got the kids, you got you got bills, you got everything. What you gonna do? Cry, whine, and fold when you ain't homie. Because if you fall, you gotta get right back up, start all over again, right? So in these oppressive situations, I bet if you better be able to put in that work, you better be able to bang, better be able to stay on your feet. You got to take the concept. See, y'all taking things literally and only using it half-assed. Take the concept and put it into your soul and live off of that because it works. It works. Every time I go through something wild, I'm thinking about getting reinitiated. You feel me? I feel like I'm going through something that's going to make me great. Getting stronger. And this transition right now is a major jumping for all of us. Are you going to make the cut? Are you going to stay on your feet? Can you handle this 31 seconds? Called a transition.